The alien queen's voice shattered the grand hall like thunder forged from starfire, her words echoing off the crystalline walls. Who dared to mend what was meant to be broken? And in that frozen moment, as 1,000 eyes from a dozen worlds turned to ice, only I, Elias Thorne, a lowly human engineer from the forgotten edges of Earth's colonies, felt the weight of truth crush my chest. I had fixed it, and now the universe might unravel because of me. The hall was a marvel of alien architecture, suspended in the void above the gas giant Zorith Prime, where the United Galactic Assembly convened under the watchful gaze of the Vexery Empire. Towering spires of iridescent crystal twisted upward, pulsing with bioluminescent veins that mimicked the planet's swirling storms below. Delegates from across the stars huddled in clusters, the serpentine diplomats of the Silith, their scales shimmering like oil on water, the ethereal light beings of the Lamari flickering in and out of visibility, and us humans, a ragtag group of exiles and envoys, clinging to the fringes like unwanted guests at a cosmic feast. The air hummed with the low thrum of translation implants, converting the Queen's guttural vexery tongue into something our minds could grasp, but nothing could soften the raw fury in her tone. I stood at the back, my hands still stained with the greasy residue of quantum flux gel from the repair job I'd done in secret. My heart pounded like a malfunctioning reactor core. Why had I done it? The Assembly's central nexus, the heart of interstellar communication, had been sabotaged, its circuits fried in a deliberate act that screamed of betrayal. Without it, alliances would crumble, wars ignite. But fixing it, that had exposed something far worse, a hidden layer of code that whispered of ancient deceptions. What had I unleashed? The Queen's multifaceted eyes, each facet reflecting a different spectrum of light, scanned the room, her massive form coiled on a throne of living vines that writhed like serpents. Her voice boomed again, the nexus lives once more. Speak now or face the void. Silence gripped the hall, thicker than the vacuum outside. The Silith ambassador hissed softly, coiling tighter, while a Lamari delegate dimmed to near invisibility. No one moved, no one breathed, but I felt it, a pull, like gravity dragging me forward. My mind raced back to the cramped maintenance ducts where I'd crawled, tools in hand, driven by that stubborn human impulse to fix what was broken. I'd thought I was saving us all. Instead, I'd cracked open a Pandora's box of interstellar secrets. And now, as the Queen's gaze swept closer, I knew the truth. If I didn't speak, someone else would pay. But confession meant death, or worse. I stepped forward, my boots echoing unnaturally loud on the crystal floor. Whispers rippled through the crowd. "A human," someone murmured. The Queen's head tilted, her crown of thorny antennae quivering. "You," she intoned, her voice dropping to a venomous whisper that sent chills through my spine. "A fragile fleshling from a dying world. You claim this deed." My throat tightened, but I met her gaze. "I fixed it," I said, my voice steady despite the storm inside, "and I'd do it again." Gasps echoed. The hall erupted in chaos. But that was only the beginning. Flashback to 3 days earlier. I was elbow-deep in the guts of a derelict freighter on the outer rim of the Assembly's orbital station, the kind of job that paid in scraps and promises. Earth was a distant memory, a polluted rock we'd abandoned centuries ago, its refugees scattered like dust across the stars. Me? I was just Elias, a third-generation spacer with a knack for tinkering. My wife, Lena, had been the dreamer, the one who believed in the Assembly's grand unity. But she was gone now, lost to a radiation leak on a colony ship 5 years back. Her last words haunted me. "Fix what you can, Elias. The universe needs menders." So that's what I did. Mend, repair, survive. The call came through my comm implant like a jolt. Emergency summons to the assembly hall. Critical failure in the nexus. The automated voice droned. "All engineers report." I grabbed my toolkit, a battered case of human ingenuity mixed with scavenged alien tech, and hustled through the station's labyrinthine corridors. Zero-grav tubes whisked me past viewports, overlooking Zoritha's raging tempests, lightning bolts the size of continents flashing below. The Nexus was the linchpin, a massive AI hub that translated thoughts, bridged cultures, and enforced peace treaties. Without it, the fragile web of alliances would snap. Arriving at the access panel, I found the damage: charred circuits, melted quantum relays. Sabotage, no doubt. But who? The Vexery Queen had enemies, rival empires whispering of her iron rule. As I worked, splicing wires with trembling hands, I uncovered something odd. A buried subroutine, ancient code etched in a language older than the stars. It pulsed with forbidden knowledge, hints of a long-lost civilization that had seeded the galaxy. My curiosity burned. I activated it just a peek. Visions flooded my mind, worlds burning, aliens ascending to godhood, humans as pawns in a cosmic game. I slammed it shut, heart racing. Had I just awakened a monster? The nexus hummed back to life, but the damage was done. Secrets were stirring. Back in the hall, the Queen's laughter reverberated, a sound like grinding tectonic plates. Brave, little human. Or foolish. Guards, hulking Vexery warriors with exoskeletons like armored beetles, moved to seize me, but she waved them off. No, let him explain. Why mend what fate decreed broken? I swallowed, the weight of 1,000 stairs pressing down. Because breaking things doesn't solve problems. It creates them. Murmurs spread. A Silith delegate slithered forward. He lies. Humans meddle where they shouldn't. Tension crackled. What secret had I truly uncovered? The Queen's eyes narrowed, and I wondered if she knew more than she let on. None of us were prepared for the truth that was about to unfold. The interrogation chamber was a stark contrast to the hall's grandeur, a dim, spherical room where gravity fields could twist your insides if you lied. The Queen loomed over me, her presence suffocating. Up close, she was magnificent and terrifying. Skin like polished obsidian, veined with glowing runes that shifted like living tattoos. The nexus was sabotaged by my own kin, she confessed, her voice a low rumble. A faction seeking to dismantle the assembly. But your fix reactivated the Echo Protocol, an ancient safeguard from the precursors. Precursors? The word sent shivers through me. Legends spoke of them as the galaxy's first architects, beings who vanished eons ago, leaving behind tech that could rewrite reality. I leaned forward, chains clinking. What does it do? She hesitated, a rare crack in her regal facade. It echoes truths, reveals hidden motives. Already, delegates are fracturing, old grudges surfacing. My mind reeled. Lena's death, had it been an accident or something more? The protocol might reveal that too, but meddling with it could tear the fabric of peace. Why? Tell me. I asked. Her antennae twitched. Because you fixed it. You bear the mark now. She touched my forehead, and pain exploded, visions of alien worlds, human colonies in flames. I gasped. This was no mere repair. I'd become a conduit. What horrors would it unleash next? Escaping wasn't part of the plan, but when the station shuddered from an explosion, chaos became my ally. Alarms blared as I slipped my bonds, the Queen's guards distracted by incoming reports of rebel attacks. I dashed through corridors alive with panic, delegates fleeing like rats from a sinking ship, a Lumari light being flickered beside me. Human, the protocol spreads. It whispers your name. My name? Fear gripped me. The visions from earlier intensified. Lena's face twisted in agony, not from radiation, but from a deliberate act. Sabotage. By whom? I reached the maintenance bay, my old haunt, and hacked into the nexus remotely. Code scrolled across my visor. The Echo Protocol was evolving, adapting to my human emotions. It craved truth, but truth was a weapon. A voice echoed in my mind. Lena's? Fix it, Elias. But beware the cost. I paused, fingers hovering. If I shut it down, the assembly might fall to rebels. If I let it run, secrets would destroy us all. A moral storm raged inside. Who was I to play God? But then, a transmission intercepted, the Queen's kin plotting her assassination. The turning point loomed. What I decided next would change everything. Diving deeper into the station's underbelly, I encountered Zara, a rogue Silith engineer I'd crossed paths with before. Her scales gleamed under emergency lights, eyes narrow slits of suspicion. Human fool, you stirred the hive. We formed an uneasy alliance, she driven by loyalty to her clan, me by a burning need for answers. Together, we navigated the twisting ducts, evading patrols. Zara's tail flicked nervously. The precursors designed the protocol to prevent wars, but it amplifies fears. Your emotions, they make it unstable. As we crawled, memories assaulted me. Lena and I, on our wedding day, under Earth's artificial skies, promising eternity. Her loss had hollowed me, turned me into a ghost-haunting machines. Now, the protocol fed on that grief, broadcasting it across the assembly. Delegates were turning on each other, old alliances shattering like glass. We must reach the core, Zara hissed. But doubt gnawed. Was the queen the villain or a victim? A sudden ambush, Vexery rebels, their weapons humming with plasma. Laser fire scorched the air. I fired back with a jury-rigged stun gun, heart pounding. We escaped, but Zara was wounded, her blood a viscous green. Go on, she urged. Reveal the truth. But was truth worth the blood? The core chamber pulsed with energy, the nexus, a glowing orb suspended in anti-grav. I interfaced, code flooding my senses. The protocol spoke directly now. Elias Thorne, bearer of sorrow. What do you seek? Visions cascaded. Lena's death orchestrated by human radicals within the assembly, fearing alien dominance. My own people. Betrayal burned hot. But deeper, the queen's secret. She was no tyrant. She was the last precursor descendant, guarding their legacy. The sabotage? Her test to find a worthy successor. Me? Shock rooted me. Why a human? The protocol hummed. Because you feel. Aliens calculate. Humans endure. Tears stung my eyes. Lena's voice echoed. Fix what you can. I altered the code not to shut it down, but to temper it. Infuse it with empathy. The station stabilized, but rebels closed in. A final stand loomed. None of us saw the greater threat coming. Midway through the chaos, as the station's hull groaned under rebel bombardment, the true revelation hit. Like a supernova, the Echo Protocol wasn't just a safeguard. It was alive, a sentient remnant of the precursors, awakened by my repair. It had chosen me not as a tool, but as a host. Merge with me, it whispered in my mind, and reshape the galaxy. Horror flooded me. This wasn't unity, it was assimilation. Zara, bandaged and fierce, stared. Destroy it, Elias, or lose yourself. But destruction meant losing Lena's echoes, the fragments of her I'd glimpsed. The turning point, I refused the merge, triggering a cascade failure. The station trembled. Wait, this was not what I expected. The protocol fought back, manifesting as holographic horrors, twisted visions of lost loved ones. Battling through the illusions, Lena's form appeared, pleading, "Join us." But I knew it was a lie. With Zara's help, we overloaded the core. Explosions rocked the structure. Delegates evacuated, pods streaking toward Zoreth. The queen arrived, her form battered. You resisted, she said, awe in her voice. No other could. Together, we fled to her royal shuttle, the station crumbling behind. But the protocol's essence lingered in me, a seed of power. What new worlds would it birth? In the shuttle's dim cabin, as Zortha's storms raged below, the queen revealed her vulnerability. I am dying human. The precursor's blood fades. Her runes dimmed, emotional walls cracked. She spoke of loneliness, ruling alone for centuries. I shared my grief for Lena, two souls bridged by loss. Zara joined, her clan honoring the pact. Alliances reformed not through force, but shared pain. But rebels pursued, their fleet emerging from the gas clouds. A space battle ensued, lasers lancing the void, shields flaring. I took the helm, human ingenuity clashing with alien might. Dodging debris, I activated the protocol's remnant, broadcasting truths to the enemy. Their leaders' deceptions exposed. Mutiny spread. Victory tasted bittersweet. The queen sacrificed herself, ramming the lead ship her final words. Carry the echo, Elias. Explosion bloomed like a new star. Grief hit hard. But that was only the beginning of a new era. Years blurred in the aftermath. I became the Assembly's guardian, the protocol tempered within me, a bridge between hearts and minds. Zara stood by, our bond deepened, human colonies flourished, aliens learned empathy. But nights brought dreams of Lena and the Queen, whispers of unfinished business. A new threat loomed. Echoes of precursors returning. Would I fix it again? In the rebuilt hull, voices united, I stood where it began. We mend together, I declared. The galaxy listened, and as stars wheeled outside, one truth remained. In the vast void, a single brave act could echo forever.